Now what?
Well, as you know, this thing was rear-ended before I bought it. The uni-body on it is all jacked up, so I want to fix it. X-Drays have a uni-body frame and they're weak. This thing was rear-ended by a van before I bought it. The receiver hitch kind of crinkled the uni-body rail a little bit. I've never been happy with the way rear bumpers mount on these things. I want to mount it differently, but to do that I need to fix the frame rail. Also, my frame rail is cracking because of the way it's crinkled. So what we're going to do is we're going to drop the gas tank out to give us some room to work. We're going to try to be a little ingenuitive and fix my frame rail. If that goes well, I've got some awesome frame stiffeners for the rear end of the Jeep. I'm going to put frame stiffeners on the outer and inner side of the rear frame rails and across the back of the Jeep. I got those all from T M Metal Fab. They're amazing. They're by far the stiffener I would go with for the back half of a Jeep. Not many companies make a stiffener for the rear, so I kind of struggled to find one, and once I landed on T M Metal Fab, I definitely like their products. Highly recommend you go check them out. But first thing we got to do, get the gas tank out. I've got a few ideas how to straighten the frame rail. Follow along, it might get interesting. We don't really know what we're going to do.
This should be fun.
I wanted to show you how we fixed the damage that was at the rear end of my frame. So I took this 1/4 inch thick 2-inch angle iron and I welded a 5/8 nut onto it, something that I knew I couldn't break. And then we opened up the rear end of the frame pocket. So we took the plasma cutter and we opened this all up on both sides so that we could slide. We took and slid this 2-inch angle iron inside the frame rail and slid it on top of the high spot. So there's a high spot like this, and the spot where the nut was, we put right over it. Then we took this other piece of angle iron with a hole drilled through it, or plasma cut through it, that would clear that 5/8 bolt, and we put it right up against the frame rail. The high spot was right here, and we hit my impact with that 5/8 bolt and squeezed the frame rail and sucked it right down. Then we just took a hammer and massaged our high spots and worked it down. Alright guys, so we've done a bunch of work. We made a press more or less out of 2 pieces of angle iron, and we were able to sandwich my unibody, and there's the raised up piece, put 1 piece under it, 1 piece over it, and we just sandwiched it down flat. That worked really well. We got that done yesterday. Today it's supposed to be windy, so we made room in the garage and shoved the XJ in the garage. Didn't know if it was going to fit, got lucky. So what we have to do now, we have to clean up all the frame rails, gotta get all the paint and everything off of those. We're going to weld on some frame stiffeners. What we're looking at, we got some T M Metal Fab stiffeners. I really like them, came across them online. They're different than most. One thing I really like, they offer square holes to weld through, which I prefer over the round holes. And they offer multiple plates that most companies don't. For instance, this plate is going to go on the outside of the rear frame rail, and I like it. It goes the full length, covers everything you're going to need it to cover. Then what they also sell is the same thing for the inside. So we're going to fully box it. So this is going to go on the inside of the frame rail. So we're going to get inside, outside, and the bottom with these. Really looking forward to getting these put on. And then one thing that most companies don't offer, we're going to tie the frame rails together. So this is going to go on the back of the Jeep, behind the bumper, and it's going to tie both frame rails together. Should make everything a lot stronger. Should never have any problems before. If you like these T M Metal Fab products and just need to strengthen up your Jeep, highly recommend you go check them out. They have every product you're ever going to need to strengthen it. They've got a whole lot of other products that I want to get. Go check them out. Anyone that watches our video, enter the coupon code SWAE for Southwest Active Explorers. They'll hook you up with 10% off. Tell them we sent you. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my welder, and any of these cracks that have been made, I'm going to weld all of the cracks up, and then we're going to clean all of the paint off of this thing and weld frame stiffeners to every side, and we shouldn't have a problem with this ever again in the future. So what we've done, we've repaired all the damage to my unibody, and we've put the driver's side inner piece up in here. It's got pre-cut slits in it to help you conform it to the shape of the unibody. So as you see, we've got multiple clamps holding it in place. There's a slit here and another slit up here, and it just allows it to bend really nicely. So when you first put it up there, it's not going to contour the frame rail at all. Take you a good set of four 6-inch C-clamps and start clamping it. Run those C-clamps as tight as you can. One trick we have used a slight bit on the passenger side, and we will use it again on the driver's side, is in spots where it's just not quite sucking up as tight as we would like it. I want this done right. I want it really good. So we want it sucked up really tight. If it's not sucking up really tight, I'm taking my oxy-acetylene torch. We heat the spot up cherry red and either clamp it or hit it with a hammer and knock it right where we want it. It's working really well. I'm really pleased. So we're going to burn the inner sides on first. I prefer to do the inner side because it sticks out. It goes under and sticks out the other side. And then we can take the outer plate and put it right in place with it. So we're going to burn this inner side in. We're going to take with the floor jack and a pipe and push this up so it contours to the bottom. And then once we're done with that, we'll take the outer plate and we'll put the outer plate right here, and it'll mate up really nice. It's getting red. It's moving. I'm gonna try and put a little bit more pressure on it. Yeah, she's going. Alright guys, so we finished up the repairs on my XJ. Really happy we finally took the time to fix my unibody. It was something that was bothering me every time I drove it. In the back of my mind, I was paranoid that the unibody rails were already slightly cracked and I had a 37 hanging off the back end of this thing. I didn't like the way the old bumper mounted, so I took that off. That's gone. We straightened the unibody rails and repaired them, welded them up. Then we took the T M Metal Fab stiffeners. We took the inner and outer sections, which I really like. So the inner sections come down and go across the bottom, and then the outer sections come up and plate the outside to mate up with the inner section. Really nice. Basically fully boxes it. So I used all of those. I'm really excited about how it came together. I'm happy that it's gonna be strong. I'm not at all worried about how this is gonna perform anymore. Now I can take and make my own bumper and be confident that I'm not gonna damage anything having a 37 hang off the back end. I'm gonna mount my bumper to the inside of the frame rail. If you look around online, several XJ people are doing it that way, and that's how I'm gonna do it. Really happy how this turned out. Highly recommend T M Metal Fab. They've got a lot of different stiffeners. I really like that they have the inside and outside plates. It makes it a lot better. If you need to stiffen the rear end of your XJ, this is the way to do it. If you guys do need some stiffeners, go over to their website and enter coupon code SWAE for Southwest Active Explorers. They're going to hook you up with 10% off, and that's for purchasing after watching our video.